From a devout Christian to making history by becoming the first Muslim division-level chaplain in the entire U.S. military, Lieutenant Colonel Khallid Shabazz has truly lived a life of service. Named Michael Barnes at time of birth, Colonel Khallid Shabazz hails from a large Lutheran family residing in Alexandria, Louisiana. Faith was the foundation of his household routine growing up. His mother set a rigorous schedule of 3 church visits a week, daily prayers before going to bed, and studying catechisms on weekends before hitting the courts to ball around. Colonel Khallid Shabazz's religion-directed timeline allowed him to discover the spirit of friendship and respect in serving others from an early age. He says that he likes people who have a commonality of purpose. In fact, after graduating from Jarvis Christian College in Hawkins, Texas, Shabazz took to coaching biology to 5th graders to an elementary school in Louisiana. Many of them were a product of broken homes and poor parenting. His motive to help them move forward in their lives led him to applying to the U.S. Army at the age of 23. Shabazz recalls his thought process being, "I'll do 20 years in the military, and then I'll teach and coach." But then he says, "I fell in love with the idea of the paradigm of the military." Then Sergeant Shabazz was posted to Baumholder, Germany, where he worked the motor pool with the troops. Among them was a Muslim soldier that boasted about the virtues of Islam so much, Shabazz took him on a public debate on the merits of Christianity and Islam. With an audience of about 30 soldiers in the meeting room, the debate began. Shabazz was quickly blindsided by his Muslim opponent's factual arguments. Where Shabazz had a defensive approach, the Muslim soldier held a persuasive take. It had the sergeant stunned. Colonel Khallid Shabazz recalls feeling an all-out cognitive dissonance, depression, and shame. He further says, "I thought I had a strong hold on the truth, and for the first time, my confidence was shaken in who I was as a human being and what I believed." Determined to clear his curiosities, Shabazz started researching on Islam on his own. He thumbed through the Bible and the Quran until midnight and tried to find all the answers to his questions. Shabazz reasons his interest by saying, "I'm an inquisitive person. If I don't know something, I'm going to get to know it." Shabazz deeply identified with Islam's emphasis on charity, serving others, and lack of clerical hierarchy. 2 years of research later, Michael Barnes took the Shahada in Louisiana Church and took upon the name Khallid Shabazz. When asked about his final push to join Islam, he mentions, "One of my favorite passages in the Quran asks if the man who thinks and the man who does are the same. It's the thinking component in Islam that really intrigued me." Shabazz's Muslim identity did not meet well with his Lutheran family, but he did not find it fair to probe them to comfort either. Shabazz let the time pass, and though it took years to accept, his family came through. In fact, he is now teased by them to pray on time, and a special gumbo is made for him excluding the pork sausages. Shabazz extends their acceptance and says that it must go both ways. "I do still go to church with my family. That's an important part of reaching across the aisle," he said. "It would be improper for me to disrespect something that instilled in me so much of who I am." Shabazz also found the conversion of the military difficult with the lack of awareness of Islam and acceptance for Muslims in the U.S. Memos would be written to accommodate his daily prayers. He would complete his training sessions even while fasting in the month of Ramadan, and often slept hungry when the mess hall failed to provide anything other than pork chops. He found himself tearing up with hunger and frustration after working regular 12-hour shifts. A chaplain saw Shabazz and stayed to talk to him heart to heart. When the chaplain mentioned taking the military chaplain route, Shabazz says, "It was lack of revelation from God. This is my calling. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life." It was indeed an incredible catalyst. Today, Khallid Shabazz has 2 doctorate degrees with 4 masters under his belt. and an author of 3 books. He was only admitted into the National War College, where only 3 chaplains are admitted each year. Shabazz says, "I'm extremely proud to have been on this journey for 20 years and never would have imagined that I'd be chosen to be the first."